Welcome to Clement's Family Farm. We have results today of the top 10 alcohols used for making extract. So which one is number one? We definitely have a clear winner, so stay tuned for that. But first, I just want to say this was not an easy task. Been planning this for 2 years, actually working on it this last year, and we now have the results. I'm going to continue to do this, and we're going to get answers on the science behind all this vanilla and what is the best in all aspects of it. Because we've got some great videos coming up that I'll talk about here in a minute. All you supporters that reached out to me, I want to say a huge thank you. I'm humbled by the generosity of all of you. Really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Also, the participants that did help me with this blind taste testing, Audra came out and did one. I did the video on that. And then my mother and a few other friends did it. And then all the people I sent test kits out to. So if you don't know this, I spent 5-6 months making vanilla extract with all the top 10. We polled over 200,000 people, came up with the top 10 that all of you recommended was the best. It was pretty much clear and dry what alcohols to do. After 9, it was pretty all over the place. So at number 9, what I did is, this is how I learned, is I was looking at the alcohol rack and I picked out the cheapest. Actually, I just liked the label. I liked the label of it. It was tequila. That's this bottle right here. And it was the cheapest alcohol on the shelf. To do a comparison, I thought, you know what, I'm going to throw that one in there because number 10 on down was just kind of a crapshoot anyway. I've used a lot of those alcohols. I wanted to try something new, so I threw the tequila in there because that was one thing we didn't have in the panel. And let's see how it compared, because this is how we learn, is by testing. So anyway, the top 9 was all by you guys, and then I threw in the tequila at the end. So after making the extract, I made up these test kits. I even put in 5 ounces of my own, I call it Dragon Venom Vanilla, but I thought this was an opportunity to show my appreciation for them participating, along with them keeping everything that I gave them. These kits cost me right around $125 to send out to everybody. And that's why I just want to say thank you all for help donating. Now that we have some results here, this is exciting because once I reveal it, I'm going to start working on the next testing. The next testing is going to be, do these different types of vanilla beans really make a difference in the flavor? So that's the question that I see come up all the time, and we're going to test that theory once we find out which one of these is the best to use. The other testing that's coming up, because it's commonly asked, is, does vanilla make a difference in baking? Audra said it did with hers, so now we're going to test the different types in baking, and we're going to do a blind taste test with that. She volunteered for that, and we've been collaborating together, and we're going to make it happen because we both love science. She's a baker, I'm an extract maker. We want the best for our clients. So that's why we're going to go ahead and do this test on the baking and get those answers to all of you. This was really fun. Everybody who participated in this blind taste testing said they had a really good time. 6. And I did too. I had my mom and Audra out here. We're not gonna get through this.
Now you're quiet.
You're all quiet now. And I had a great time. I walked through some of the testing with some other people. This was actually kind of fun. All right, I'm just going to show some clips of some of the participants that helped me out with this project, and I do appreciate all of them from the bottom of my heart for participating. One of them was a lucky viewer, Fran.
Hey Shane, it's Fran from Louisiana. I have my package. The packaging is gorgeous. It is just beautiful. Your vanilla smells heavenly, I'm going to say that. And I'm so excited about this test. I found you during the pandemic when I was researching how to make vanilla extract. And watching your videos, I became hooked and had to try it. So where to source the beans and where to get the best beans, and now the alcohol. This test I've been waiting for 2 years. 2 years, and now to be part of it, I'm just over the moon excited. So thank you so much. Thank you for doing this. I know it had to be a lot time consuming and expensive. I'm so thrilled. So hope to have the results to you shortly. I have all my stuff sitting out here and I'm getting ready to start this project. Thanks.
I love her to death. And then I got Blue Collar Homestead. Friends of mine, great people. Check out their YouTube channel at Blue Collar Homestead. They're people just like I am, living life and sharing their experience with you on their homestead. I'll show you those clips right now and we'll come back.
All right, welcome back to Blue Collar Homestead. We were asked by another channel to do a blind taste test on a homemade vanilla extract. On the count of 3, say which number you're thinking, 6 or 10.
Okay.
Okay? 1, 2, 3. 6.
6. It wasn't at the same time. I'm a little slow.
6. Well, at least
Six
we're
is
on the
mine
same
too.
page with that too. Number 6.
All right, 1, 2, 3,
7.
1, 2, 3,
7. 1, 2, 6. Oh, we're opposite this one. I said 6 and you said 7. We both picked something different for the last one. We might have to have a tiebreaker, but how do you do it?
Page.
We have our tiebreaker.
Here, have a seat. I'll just sit on
Which one do you think is better?
6.
6? All right. 6 was the winner if you include our tiebreaker here. I picked 6, she picked 6, Trinity picked 7. You said the 7, you could taste a little bit of the alcohol in it, right?
Yes, but there's a flavor with the alcohol that comes with it.
What alcohol do you think it was?
Some kind of coconut rum or something. I taste a slight hint of coconut in it.
Okay.
So the coconut and the vanilla. Did you open it already?
I didn't open anything, no. No. It's still sealed. You know what? Let's see if you're right. I mean, 7 ended up being tasted 1, 2, 3 times by both of us. Actually, 4 times.
6.
6 times.
6 was the same thing. 6,
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 7 was tasted the most. 7 went the farthest. Went through the most abuse, I guess.
Well,
7 went through quite a bit. 6 was right there with it. So it's kind of funny how it's 1 through 10, and we're almost right in the middle of the whole batch. Let's open this up and see what alcohol is what. Oh, nothing popped out. I thought it was gonna be like confetti and stuff flying
if it
everywhere.
was
Hey, do
confetti, you
glitter.
would have been complaining.
Do glitter next time. Do glitter. Do glitter.
No.
Yes,
No.
do glitter.
Holy cow!
Did I call it? Did
Yep.
I call it?
All about
Yep.
that.
Yeah, buddy.
Number 7, the one you said you tasted coconut, was Captain Morgan Coconut. Number 6 was Captain Morgan White. That's kind of interesting. Both of the Captain Morgans made it to the end. That is really weird.
My 3 finalists are 4, 7, and 9. And my overall winner out of the 3, my top winner is 7. 7. This stuff is delicious. Moment of truth. Captain Morgan Coconut Rum. Yay! I'm so excited. That's what I made mine with. All because of Shane. Thanks, Shane. This was great. Thanks so much.
Number 7 is the best.
Okay. Number 7.
Darn. That's close there.
Okay, so do you want to do a blind on this?
Yeah,
Or
because
not?
that's close.
Okay. And I'm going to mix them around.
And just give me a stick.
And I'm just going to give you a stick. And you just tell me this side or this side.
Okay. It's the right side.
Okay. So that was definitely definitive. But you can see right when we start getting down to the end, it really gets tight. And it's not easy to pick between the two. So, or you did pick 9/7.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So number 9. All right. So with Blue Collar Homestead, Tim and Trinity, they had their daughter step in and do the tiebreaker. I thought it was great. She also recommended that I had some sort of glitter bomb. They were the first people to get the test kit, and then they did it right away, got it back to me within a week or two, and it was great. So I've been sitting on their results for at least a month or so, and I do appreciate that. But their daughter was great, and she wanted some sort of glitter. So I made that happen. I thought this would be a great opportunity to show my appreciation for her and her family, and I sent them a glitter bomb. I got Tim and Trinity to videotape it, and it was perfect. I do appreciate all the families that helped.
Thank you, Shane.
All right, so when I started getting all the test results in, it wasn't very clear which one was the winner because all the end results were coming in different. So I had to come up with a way that we can come up with a clear winner. I was trying to keep an open mind the whole time doing this, and I just assigned a value of 1 to every one of these alcohols, and every time that alcohol won over another one and it moved forward on the chart, I counted it. So every alcohol got counted as it continued to move forward. All right, so that's the gray that you see on the chart, plus the green. So that's how many times that alcohol moved forward. The green means that's how many times that it was chosen for number 1. Like I said, I didn't look at these as a whole until just yesterday. I just didn't want to look at everything and know what the results were. I kind of wanted to be surprised, and I was. I was not expecting this at all. And if you look at this first one, it is clearly a winner across the board. There's no doubts about it. So as you can see, as they go down, the next winner and so forth. So you're probably wanting to know what that winner is and then how they list down below in order. And I did that. Okay, I just got to put a disclaimer out there real quick. This bottle here is representing Bacardi rum. I dropped the bottle when I was doing some construction in here and I broke it. I wasn't going to go out and buy another one for a photo shoot. So this bottle here is representing Bacardi rum. So this is your top 10. So which one is it out of all these? All right, the wait's over. The Captain Morgan coconut rum was the number 1 winner. You can see that here on the chart. The Captain Morgan was number 1 at 70 proof. I'll go over why I believe it was number 1 and why it excelled over all the other ones by a lot, actually. So I did put these in order, that the way that they came out in the testing. So the next one was the Captain Morgan white rum, the Bacardi rum, Grey Goose, and the French vodka. What do they call it? The Kirkland French vodka from Costco. I'm going to tell you that these two here were neck and neck the whole way. And the only thing that separated them at the end was 1 vote. So anyway, then we got Everclear, New Amsterdam, Ocean, and then the Smirnoff, and then the tequila. So that was some interesting stuff. So if you look at the chart here, you see that the tequila actually moved farther along in the testing than the Smirnoff. But the Smirnoff actually came out 2 points ahead over the tequila in being picked as those persons' top extract or top alcohol. So it actually won twice for being their best. So you could see that this actually went farther ahead, which was interesting. And that was what I wanted to find out, was how far would it go and would somebody pick it? It did move along. It went over the other alcohols and it did move forward, but nobody ever picked it for their favorite. But the Smirnoff did, which was kind of interesting. That's what I started off with. And then the Ocean. The Ocean didn't do really well. It did better than these two as far as moving ahead. It only got basically one vote as it came through. That one was only picked once out of all the testing. And then we go to the New Amsterdam. It was surprisingly on the low end of the list, and I couldn't believe that because it was one of my favorites. I've only used the coconut rum and the New Amsterdam the last 10 years because I really do like these two and my clients like it. And I'm surprised to see it down here. Yeah. And then we have the Everclear. So Everclear was the top pick that everybody said was the best alcohol to use for making extract. I'll be honest with you. I don't like Everclear. But when I taste tested it, I was surprised. When I taste tested it raw, just regular, right out of the bottle, I was surprised. It wasn't that bad, and I could see using it. I don't like it because it's a whiskey. It's got a little harsher bite to it. Now, I did proof this down to 100, and I think if I had to use it, I would proof it down to 70. And I'll get to that here in a minute. But then we go right over here to the Kirkland and the Grey Goose. These taste really well. They're smooth. They don't have that much flavor to them. I mean, there's a little bit. If you haven't seen my review on all of these, go check it out. I have a video on that. But I was pleasantly surprised between these two when I taste them. So being here at the top, not a surprise at all. And then the Bacardi. That really surprised me. We're talking about the Bacardi and the white rum. Now, really, I didn't like the white rum. But in the taste testing, wow, I can't believe it's number 2. And then the coconut rum was number 1. There was just a little bit of a bite on this one. I didn't quite like the way it felt in my mouth, taste testing it in the raw form. That's why I probably wouldn't have used it. But that just shows you that making the extract and then using it in a product, how it can really change. So what you're tasting straight out of a bottle is not how you're going to taste it once you start baking with it and so forth. I know a lot of people they're smelling their bottles. This is a little sample bottle that I sent out to everybody. So I sent out 10 of these sample bottles to everybody. So everybody's smelling them. Okay, you might smell alcohol and they taste it. Well, you're going to get that in here because you're using alcohol. But once you put it into a food product, does that alcohol exist? So that was one of the questions I asked during this testing. And in these top 4 right here, there was no alcohol present in the samples that they were taking. So that was a good interesting fact. So when they were taste testing it, they didn't taste the alcohol and they didn't smell it, where these other ones here they did. And that's probably why they're on the lower end. It was kind of a hit and miss on these ones, but they did taste it. especially on these two and on the Everclear. It was a 50-50 on these two, but definitely these ones here, they didn't smell or taste the alcohol when they were doing their taste testing. And that was a great question that I wanted to know and need to share with you guys because you're all asking these questions. So did they taste it in the sample? So the sample that I used, I recommended it to everybody so that it was consistent and a controlled sample throughout this whole taste testing thing was 1 cup of Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, which has no flavoring and no sugar to it. So it's really bitter and tart. So you have to add sugar to it. So the controlled part of it was 2 tablespoons of granulated white sugar, mix it up real good for 10 minutes, let it sit, or mix it real good for 5 minutes, let it sit for 5, mix it again for 5, and then that just gets all the granules of sugar in the Greek yogurt and dissolved. And then they added 30 drops of the sample that they were going to do to each one of the 10 different cups that they had. And then mix that up real well. So they used the plain Greek yogurt with some sugar and then the extract to do their taste testing. That's the best way. I did a lot of different samples and the Greek yogurt just seemed to have a little bit more depth to hang on to that flavor than the whipped cream or the other yogurt, the regular yogurt, plain yogurt. You needed something that was flavorless, and that's what I came up with. So the Greek yogurt is what we used. Might try something different. I offered that to everybody who did the taste testing to use whatever they want and to continue doing taste testing because they got enough samples there they can do it more, and they have. And I'm still getting results back. So anyway, let's talk about why I think that the coconut rum is number 1. There's a couple of different factors here, which was a real big surprise to me. I had no idea that it was going to go that far on this list, or even, I thought maybe right in here. I had no idea it would be up there. It just confirms what I've been doing for the last 10 years is working, and this is what the preferred taste is. So, with that being said, number 1 thing, it's 70 proof. So 70 proof has less alcohol in it and less bite to it. Versus these are all 80 except for this one here was 100. The only reason I picked 100 proof on this because we did proof it down to 100 because I believe this is 120 because that was what the recommendations were from all of you. Okay, so if I was to do this again, I would probably take this down to 70 proof. In fact, doing this test again, I would probably proof all these down to 70 proof and then do a blind taste testing with that. But that's a whole nother story. So anyway, if you're going to use the Everclear, I would say proof it down to 70 and then use it. But you can see it's right here in the middle. It's on the lower end. I didn't like it personally. I don't like Everclear because there's so much other stuff on the market that we can get and works just well. So anyway, the 70 proof, I believe, is one of the reasons why it was picked. It's not as harsh and doesn't have that bite, which does affect the flavor. The other thing is it's a rum. You'll see we got three rums up here, and then we go to the vodka. Yeah, that's a rum. I had to check real quick. So anyway, we got the 3 rums up here. Rums seem to be a little bit smoother when it comes to drinking and so forth. So to me, that makes a big difference if you're making extract. If it's a little bit smoother, it can have a bite to it, but if it's smoother, depending on the distillery process, because these are all different distillery process, how they get it smooth. So the rum, I think, is another thing why it was chosen. And then the coconut. I don't recommend flavored alcohols of using them unless it's a light flavor like the coconut or a mango or something like that. The coconut really does accentuate the vanilla. You might get the coconut flavor at the very end, but it does accentuate the flavor of the vanilla. The other thing it does is with the extra flavoring in it is sugar. So sugar is another flavor enhancing media that you can use, or not media, medium that could be used to enhance the vanilla flavor. So instead of adding a bunch of sugars to your extract, which I want a pure vanilla extract, I use the coconut rum. So with the sugars already in it and the flavoring in it, those are just enhancers for the vanilla extract. And it works really well. That's why I think it made it to number one. That's my opinion on it. But like I said, everybody's taste buds are different. I'll show you the chart again. You can see here how it all played out. The coconut rum, the white rum, the Bacardi rum, the Grey Goose vodka, Kirkland. And on this chart here, I showed the price break on there. The reason why I showed the price break, because we're making extract. Do I want to buy a 35, let's see, what was it? I'm looking at my chart over here. So the Grey Goose was $35. So do I want to buy a $35 bottle of Grey Goose? Or do I want to buy a $19 bottle of the Kirkland? If it's available to you, the Costco Kirkland, this is probably the best bang for your buck right now. Like I said, I was surprised on the flavor of it. But look at, don't count this one. This is gin. I'm substituting for Bacardi right now for the photos. So anyway, let me just show you. So in the testing, I used 4 ounces of the Madagascar grade A beans per quart jar. And then I used 1 complete bottle, 750 milliliters, to that quart jar. And that's how I made the extract. All right, all these jars are empty except for this one. So you can see I probably have 2 more quart jars in there that I can make extract with for 20 bucks, $19. I know the price varies during the season, but when I bought this was $18.99. It's a huge bottle, and these two were very similar in flavor. In fact, I couldn't tell a difference between these two when I was testing them. So if I was an extract maker and I was doing a lot of it, and I'm looking at cost-wise, this is what I'd be using right here. You're going to spend a little bit more for these bottles here. The New Amsterdam. These things go on sale quite often. I think this was $9, but their bottle that's this size here, which is basically 3 bottles, was 16 bucks. And if you catch the sales just right, you can turn that $16 into $9. So you're only spending $9 for a bottle this size. That's one of the reasons why I used New Amsterdam. I like the flavor of it. It was pretty clean. To me, that was what I looked for. It was clean and it was smooth. And that's why I'm surprised here. Well, I'm not real surprised because this stuff here was pretty smooth. I will admit that. The Bacardi though, and the white rum here, I'm really surprised. It's here. But like I said, everybody's taste buds are different. And I wanted to give you the answer of the majority and not my personal opinion. But now we've got a little bit of proof here this is kind of the consensus across the board. And here's what the results are. I just want to thank Vanilla Bean Kings. They donated 5 ounces of vanilla beans to this project, and it was a great help. Every little bit does help. All right, so I'm just going to wrap it up there. I thank all of you for following along on this journey and all those supporters who did help me out. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. It does help me out, and it does help YouTube show that I'm doing something good for you guys. So make sure you like and subscribe. If you have any comments, if you something that you want to see me do, please leave it down below in the comments, and I'll try to get to them. I love the science stuff behind all this. I love keeping an open mind on how we can improve and teach people, actually. What's the newcomer want to use for their first extract? First alcohol I would say to use for your first extract, coconut rum. That's what my recommendation would be. Or this Kirkland French vodka. I'm really kind of digging this stuff right now. So anyway, make sure you leave your comments down below, and stay tuned for some more exciting science videos with vanilla extract. Right now, some really cool ones, some dragons, some Audras,